Before we begin, yes, we realize that alcohol has been prohibited in Iran since the establishment of the Islamic Republic Government in 1979. While some exemptions are made for members of religious minorities, like Christians, Jews, and Zoroastrians, these allowances aren't typically respected by law enforcement and can often land the person dealing with or drinking alcohol in a world of hurt. And we mean that quite literally. Drinking alcohol is a highly punishable offense, regardless of whether the offender is a man or a woman. Having said that, Iranians can throw down a bottle of hooch like nobody's business. And honestly, it's not all that shocking. After all, wine, which was better known as mey or bareh in Persia, has a long and important history in the region. The stuff's practically intertwined in their DNA. Just ask 23andMe. No, don't worry. Not a single DNA strand was harmed in the making of this film. Anyway, time to book it to the Middle East and get the liquor lowdown on one of the most controversial drinking cultures in the world. This is How Iranians Drink. Ready for some stats? Good, because we're about to drop some pretty surprising numbers on you. Even though Iran ranks number 166 in alcohol consumption per capita, yes, even with the total ban on alcohol, the World Health Organization estimates that for people who drink 35 liters or more alcohol over the course of a year, the country comes in at 19th in the world, which puts it ahead of the US, Britain, and even Russia. In fact, if you look at official statistics issued by the Iran government, 10% of the country's population uses alcohol, and 30% of that group is women. Yep, the ladies know how to hold it down and live it up. Interestingly, it's Iran's urban middle class leading this spirits renaissance, normalizing drinking culture so that it mirrors the West. And part of that is due to an interesting dichotomy. For a nation with a total ban on hooch, it's actually relatively easy to come by, thanks to home distilling and a vast network of alcohol suppliers that'll deliver pretty much any spirit right to your doorstep. Like Iran's version of Drizzly, but way more discreet. Also, prepare to shell out some serious paper for their smuggled booze. A bottle of Chivas will run you around $200. Vodka sells for $100. And wine is a veritable bargain at $50. When it comes to what's in their glass, Iranians like it doggy style. We're talking about arag sagi, of course, and the name literally translates to doggy distillate. Essentially, it's the Iranian version of moonshine, typically clocking in at 70% ABV, but occasionally hovering over the 90% mark. Yeah, arag sagi doesn't come to play. Made from fermented raisins, this high-proof hooch was popular before the 1979 revolution, and it remains an under-the-counter favorite today that's typically sold in 4-gallon jerry cans. The taste is similar to a grappa, but with considerable more burn. Now, why the canine connection? Before the revolution, the arag bottle was branded with a picture of a beagle by the Mikade company. Not long after, the public began calling it arag sagi, or arag doggy. The more you know. One thing you'll quickly notice in Iran, people are exceedingly friendly. An invitation to someone's home for a meal or some tea is business as usual. Just don't expect a welcome glass of wine or bottle of beer when you arrive. Social and legal stigmas hold strong. But amongst the middle and upper class, illicit rooftop soirees and backroom parties are the norm. And if you manage to make your way to one, you'll likely come across some arag sagi moonshine or imported bottles of vodka, whiskey, and tequila. And really, there are no hard and fast rules when it comes to imbibing with Iranians. But if food is present, just take care to eat using your right hand, and try a bit of everything that's served. It's considered good manners. After all, your mama taught you better than that. Sure, alcohol is legally banned in Iran. Well, at least for the most part. But a lot like Prohibition in the US, the spirit of the people to enjoy a tasty adult beverage goes unbroken. Where there's a will, or a backroom distiller, there's a way. And nowhere is that more true than in Iran. Be salamati!